Hey guys, Maury with 316 Automotive. Welcome back to the shop. We got a problem with the 9.3. I'll show you what's going on right now. Here we are. You can see I've got things taped off here a little bit. I've got the interior panel removed because that's right. Something in the lock, something in the latch broke. See the blue thing down there? Anyway, trust me, that's not working. Something's not working down here. And so what I did is I took off the belt line moldings here, both of them. Took off belt line moldings and the window inner wiper. You can't get the inner door panel off because the inner door panel has bolts underneath it, and obviously there's no way to get this off without destroying it. You can come and get the rear window out. You see those two bolts right down there that the light is reflecting too much off of? Those are for over here. They are for that booger right there. One right there, one right there. So the plan is I'm going to drill out those two bolts because those are adjustable. This thing's going to be out of the way here. The window's going to be out. I got to remove that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to zip those off with the Dremel, and then I'm going to center punch, and I'm going to drill those through going forward. And then there's an adjustable plate on that, and that's how you adjust these doors. And then I'm going to just pull the door open, and that fitting should just fall right out onto the floor down here. I've been in there with rods down in here with a variety of long rods, pulling and pushing. I can get things to actuate down there, but the door flat out will not come open. There's some kind of disconnect below that what I can reach, and so it's, now we're doing it the hard way. Okay, here it is. Get that plastic out of the way. There's those two bolts I was talking about. It looks pretty clean down here. I don't see any rust. That's good. One good thing about Saabs. Here's the window right here. So you had to undo this one, that one, and this one. Loosen them up, and if you want to take the nuts off, you can, but each one is in a slot. So it'll pull up, and then you got to lower it back down. That's why I took this nut off and this nut off, and was able to lower the window back down because right here is the window motor pigtail, and you got to get a pick in there and lever it up. And it's one of those standard GM connectors. It's brown. You lever it up and it pops right off, and then the window comes out. So be aware of that. Okay, those two bolts. There we go. I'm doing this because I'm hopeful that I don't have as far to drill through now with the tails of those two bolts nipped off like that. So this is still a total experiment. We'll see. All right, there's the striker backup plate that I just drilled off. Let me get you down here. There's what it looks like. The Two bolts are right there. I'm going to take my air tool and I'm going to grind those flush, and then that door should be able to open. At least that's the theory. Here's what I'm using for my my grinder. It's an air grinder, and this is a multi-purpose bit here. You can get them in all sorts of shapes and grinds and things of that nature. Success, folks! Look at that. The striker plate's still in there, but now I can get access and take this interior panel off. I did not have to destroy it. Yes, I destroyed a couple bolts and I destroyed this striker backup plate. I can get another one. Okay, just like taking the back window out here, now I gotta get this window out, and all the works that's in here, the rails and whatnot, I gotta get those out, and then I can get back and get to the lock mechanism. All right, I've gotten the window out here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I broke one of the guides here, so I'm going to have to get another guide, but the other guide is worn as well, so 2 new guides coming up. I'd have to see about this slider here. That just might replace all the plastic parts. But anyway, you see this bracket here, and you see those 2 holes? Those 2 holes right there. So you get on the window switch, and you do it up and down until you line up the Torx head bolts with there, and then you undo those 2. And then you get over here, and remember that green slider? It goes right on the back side of that, and it's got a little clip on it. It's got a little clip just like this. You pop that off, and then you got to get a screwdriver or something to pry with and work this shaft. Let's see if I can, right there, work that shaft out. You see the slot where that clip goes? Work that shaft out of the green slider that I just showed you. And you know, you just wiggle it back and forth, and you'll work it out. And then you can bring the window up, and you'll be good. And then you need to get this this slide out of here, the window slide up and down the aft one. How you do that? You see that bolt right there? Well, it'd be real hard to get to the back side of it, so Saab, in their infinite wisdom, there's the booger right there. There's a rubber plug that goes in the sheet metal here. Pop that out, you can get access to it. And then you've got another 10 millimeter and another 10 millimeter right there. And then that slide will come right out of there. So, still working it. Here's what it all looks like on the inside. Here's the lock and the internal rod. This backing plate here goes on top of this and fits in there and locks it through this lip right here. So you gotta take that off. And then you've got to undo several rods that are already, there we go, several rods that are already in there. I'll show you here. You see this little clip there? There's 2 of them, one here and one over here. And you just take a pick and you get that pick inside and you flip this clip up, and it's also a plastic bushing, and then you can get both the rods out, the up and down rod for the handle and the forward and aft rod. So be aware of that, and then you can finagle it out. All right, what I'm doing now, adjust this a little bit. What I'm doing now, even though I've got full access to the locking mechanism, took the handle off, took everything's out, all the rods, everything. This lock is still locked up, and it's still got the striker plate attached to it. It ain't coming off. So I got to cut this off too, in addition to drilling off the bolts for the striker plate support. Here we go. All right, here it is right here. I finally got the striker plate cut off. I had to make a number of cuts. All right, now I'm going to show you what's wrong with this, now that you can actually see it. See that little dog right there? It's preventing this latch from flipping forward. See that? It's hitting on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the dog down, so that flips my pliers up, and then you can take, and there is the open position on the lock, or the latch rather. Like that. So, a bunch of plastic parts in the bottom of the door, all came out of right in here. Definitely a new lock time. So, I'll get on with the rest of it. Gotta find the lock. Okay, we're back from LKQ. Me and Pat went there, and we got a new striker plate and new bolts. You can see it down there. Those tabs that you see, I had to bend them out to get the old drilled out striker plate backup plate, or nut plate if you will, to get it out. So when you put the replacement one in there, you just bend those tabs back. They're flexible. And then here's a top tip. When you put this back, of course, you've got large holes behind there, so there's all kinds of adjustment. You just use the witness marks that's in the paint, because the paint is going to show the outline of the striker plate. And since the striker plates, and we got this striker plate and various hardware, we got that from a 98 Saab 900. And it's the same. I checked the WIS, the part number is the same, so that's fine. Not WIS, EPC, something like that. And so you just line the edges up with the witness marks in the paint, and really I don't anticipate any more adjusting of that. When the door lock, the new door lock, well, new to me door lock comes in, I had to order that on eBay. When that gets here, I'm going to install it, and I don't anticipate having to adjust this very much, maybe a hair, but we'll see. It's all going to be, is the door going to be flush right here? And if it is, when it's fully latched, then get out of Dodge. You're good. So that's the ticket. So now I'm going to be putting all this back together while I'm waiting for that new lock to get here, and put the window in, speakers, side panel like that one, and bada bing, we'll be in business. Okay, finally after 30 days, the new lock mechanism came in. The one thing that's bad or not, or something about this, is that the actuator, the electric actuator that came, the new electric actuator, of course it's from a used car. You can see it's got 6 pins, and mine, the old one, it has 5 pins, as you can see. So what I'm going to do, and it looks like it's pretty easy, I'm going to undo the 2 screws there and undo that connection right there, and swap over both of these two, because mechanically in the Saab WIS, these two are the same part number. And so, but in the Saab WIS, these two in the electric section, This one is specifically for European cars, and this one is for American cars. So, okay, fine, I'll do that. Guys, I'm going to show you the new lock here. I've got the actuator on it now, the new actuator. I transferred them over, but I'm going to show you what happened and how it works. All right, the striker is going to go, the striker is cut up, but it's going to go in here, and the door closing, did you hear the click? Now the striker can't get out, and so now here comes the outside handle right there. Press that down, and the striker releases. I'm going to do it again, and now here's the inside handle, and the striker releases. So this is on the B-pillar, don't forget. So that's how it works. This old one here, a lot of plastic parts. You can see all the plastic parts right here. And some bushings that completely disintegrated right in this area. So nothing was functional. So that's it. Okay, I got the lock in. I want to show you all those particulars, but there she is. All right, guys, I'm going to show you a top tip here. Looking down, I've got the lock mechanically installed, and now you're going to see that rod right there that I'm tapping against? That goes down to that translucent clip down there. You want to do that first, because you see it comes up to the handle, the exterior handle. So you want to do that first, and then ask me how I know these things. Yeah. Now, the door lock, you want to go through this square hole here, rectangular hole, and you see it down there? I'm wiggling it, I'm focusing right on it. All right, now I'm going to clip that on. Got my pick here. Forcing that rod to the inside. And then you get your pick. You see how that thing is going? The clip is going. There. You see that clip right there? You see that right there? That's going to come around and clip into the rod that goes forward and aft for the interior door handle. And here that comes. You're going to slip it right in there. And then I'm going to reach in. There. Now, you're going to clip that rod in here. Clip that rod in here. Clip that rod in there. And now that's where the interior door handle grabs onto. Once you've got all three of those in, then you're going to place the runner for the back in, and I'll show you that. See that? 1, 2, top tip. You got to get that tab in that hole first, and you've got to get on the bottom here, you've got to get the rail on the front, the clip on the front side of the door clip, the nut plate clip on the front side of the door clip. And then I suggest you do this one first, and then that one. Don't tighten them up. And then that one. Everything's loosely assembled. And then you're ready for the window. Stand by for that. All right, first step in putting your door back together is to get the lock in. There it is down there. Then you get the exterior handle on, but don't forget, see that electric switch right here? It's for the lock. Get that snapped back in and get the pigtail on it, and then you can put this back together. Okay, windows back in. Put the green piece there, the green slider, put that in after the window is down in. Slide it from either side and slide it to where it needs to be. And then, do the clip and do the little, it's a little ball joint right there. And everything else is going together nicely. Got the trim on one side here. Get the speaker in. And everything's going together good. So the order of stuff is very important. Get the lock first, then get the handle there. Make sure you got the electric switch on the handle. Thread it all through. Make your various connections to these rods. And then continue on with there, get your slide installed, and then drop your window down, and you're going to be fine. All right, here we go. The door sounds different. Doesn't sound as tinny. Excellent. All right, folks, that's it for the lock door saga on the Saab. It was a bear of a job, and I'm thinking seriously about looking at the other side and seeing if there's lock pieces from the original lock on the passenger side. If I find some in the bottom of that door, I might change that lock out to the new part number as well before it locks itself shut. So remember, if you've got a problem, if no one can help, and if you can find us, maybe you can hire 316 Automotive.